Write an engaging and emotional story based on the title. Come with me, the ex-Navy SEAL said, after finding the widow and her kids alone on Christmas night. Begin the story with hook who joins the viewers at the end. Immediately capture attention, also motive viewers to like video and subscribe the channel. Develop the plot with emotional depth and relatable characters, including key challenges and their resolutions. Ensure the story maintains a smooth pace suitable for an 4,000-minute YouTube video, leaving a strong, inspiring message by the end. Plain paragraphs but long story as you can based on 2,000-word estimate. It was Christmas Eve, and the snow fell like silent whispers from a grieving sky, blanketing the quiet suburb in a layer of pristine white. But inside the small, dimly lit house on Elm Street, the holiday cheer felt as distant as a forgotten dream. Sarah Thompson sat alone in her living room, staring at the flickering lights of a half-decorated tree. Her husband, Mark, a firefighter who had given his life saving others in a blaze just 6 months ago, wasn't there to hang the ornaments or wrap the gifts. Their 2 children, 8-year-old Lily and 5-year-old Tommy, were tucked in bed upstairs, but Sarah knew sleep wouldn't come easy for them tonight. The house was too empty, the laughter too absent. How do you celebrate joy when your heart is shattered? Little did Sarah know, a stranger's knock on the door was about to change everything, a moment that would restore faith in humanity and remind us all that miracles can happen when we least expect them. Across town, Jake Harlan trudged through the mounting snowdrifts, his breath forming clouds in the frigid air. A former Navy SEAL, Jake had seen his share of battles, deserts in the Middle East, covert ops in shadowed corners of the world. But nothing prepared him for the war he fought now, the one against loneliness. Retired at 42 after an injury that left him with a limp and a heart full of unresolved pain, Jake had lost his own family years ago to the demands of duty. His wife had left, taking their daughter with her, and Christmas had become just another day to endure. Tonight, he was on his way home from volunteering at the local shelter, a habit he'd picked up to fill the void. As he passed Elm Street, something caught his eye, a house with lights on but no signs of life. No car in the driveway, no footprints leading to the door. Instinct kicked in, the same gut feeling that had saved his life countless times. He approached, knocking softly, not knowing he was about to step into a story of redemption. Sarah froze at the sound of the knock. Who could it be at this hour? Her heart raced as she peered through the peephole, seeing a tall, rugged man in a worn coat, his face weathered but kind. She cracked the door open, chain still latched. "Can I help you?" she asked, her voice trembling. Jake tipped his hat, snowflakes melting on his broad shoulders. "Ma'am, I'm sorry to bother you on Christmas Eve. Name's Jake Harlan. I was just passing by and, well, your house looks a bit lonely tonight. Everything all right?" Sarah's eyes welled up. Lonely? That word hit like a punch. She unlatched the door, stepping aside slightly. "My husband, he passed away this year. It's just me and the kids. We're managing." Jake nodded, his SEAL training teaching him to read people in an instant. He saw the exhaustion in her eyes, the way her hands fidgeted with her sweater. Upstairs, he heard faint sobs, probably the children. "I know a thing or two about loss," he said gently. "Lost my family to the job. If you don't mind me saying, no one should be alone on a night like this. Come with me. I've got a place not far from here. Warm fire, hot cocoa, and enough food to feed an army. No strings attached, just company." Sarah hesitated. Trust a stranger? But there was something in his eyes, a sincerity forged in fire. Lily appeared at the top of the stairs, rubbing her eyes. "Mommy, who's that?" Tommy peeked out behind her, clutching his stuffed bear. Jake knelt down to their level, smiling. "Hey there, kiddos. I'm Jake. Ever ridden in a truck through the snow? It's like a sleigh ride without the reindeer." The children's faces lit up, a spark of excitement piercing the gloom. Sarah felt a tug in her chest, Mark would want them to find joy, even in the darkness. "Okay," she whispered. "Just for a little while." As they bundled into Jake's old pickup truck, the engine rumbling to life, Sarah couldn't shake the surreal feeling. The drive was short, winding through festively lit streets that mocked her solitude. Jake shared bits of his story, missions in Afghanistan, the camaraderie of his team, the nightmares that followed. "SEALs are trained to never leave a man behind," he said. "Guess that applies to civilians too." They arrived at Jake's modest cabin on the edge of town, smoke curling from the chimney. Inside, it was warm and inviting, with a roaring fire and a tree adorned with handmade ornaments. Souvenirs from his travels. A table groaned under plates of ham, mashed potatoes, and pies he'd prepared for the shelter but decided to bring home. "Didn't expect company," Jake admitted, "but I'm glad for it." The kids dove in, their laughter echoing as they discovered a pile of wrapped gifts Jake had stashed away, toys he'd bought on a whim, remembering his own daughter. Lily unwrapped a doll, her eyes wide. "It's just like the one I asked Santa for." Tommy got a toy truck, zooming it across the floor. Sarah watched, tears streaming down her face. For the first time in months, the house felt alive. But as the evening wore on, emotional depths surfaced. Over coffee by the fire, Sarah opened up about Mark, their whirlwind romance, his heroic death, the crushing debt from medical bills and funeral costs. "I work 2 jobs, but Christmas, we couldn't even afford a proper dinner. The kids deserve better." Jake listened, his own walls crumbling. He confessed his regrets, missing birthdays, deployments that cost him his marriage. "I thought strength meant going it alone. But tonight, seeing you all, it reminds me we're all fighting battles." A challenge arose when Tommy, overexcited, knocked over a glass, shattering it. He burst into tears, hiding behind Sarah. "I'm sorry. Daddy always said I'm clumsy." Jake knelt again, picking up the pieces. "Hey, buddy, accidents happen. In the SEALs, we had a saying, adapt and overcome. Want to help me clean it up? Teamwork makes the dream work." Tommy nodded, and together they swept the floor. It was a small moment, but it bonded them. Lily, sensing the shift, hugged Jake. "You're like a superhero, Mr. Jake." As midnight approached, the real emotional peak hit. Sarah's phone buzzed, a text from her sister, checking in. It reminded her of the isolation she'd felt, the friends who drifted away after Mark's death. "People don't know what to say," she murmured. "So they say nothing." Jake stood, fetching a photo from the mantel, him with his SEAL team. "This was my family once. Lost a few in the field. The ones left? We check in, no matter what. You need that too." He paused, then added, "If you'd like, I can help. I've got connections, veterans groups, support for widows. You're not alone anymore." The resolution began to unfold. They exchanged stories late into the night, the kids dozing by the fire. Jake taught them a simple carol, his deep voice rumbling. Sarah felt a warmth she hadn't known since Mark, a platonic connection, born of shared pain. When it was time to go, Jake drove them home, but not before promising to return. "Christmas isn't over yet," he said. "Let's make tomorrow special." The next morning, Christmas Day, Jake showed up with breakfast and more surprises. He'd rallied his old SEAL buddies via a quick group chat, men scattered across the country but united in purpose. They sent gift cards, donations to clear Sarah's debts, even a scholarship fund for the kids. One friend, a financial advisor, offered pro bono help. "We take care of our own," Jake explained. "And tonight, you're part of that." Sarah's challenges weren't erased overnight, but resolutions came in waves. She found strength in vulnerability, accepting help without shame. The kids gained a mentor in Jake, who taught Tommy to tie knots and Lily to stand tall. Jake, in turn, rediscovered purpose. Volunteering more, reconnecting with his daughter via a heartfelt call that Christmas afternoon. "Dad, I'm proud of you," she said, bridging years of distance. Months passed in the story's epilogue. Sarah started a support group for widows, inspired by Jake's example. The kids thrived, their home filled with new traditions. Jake became a fixture, barbecues in summer, holidays together. One evening, as they watched the sunset, Sarah turned to him. "That night you knocked, you saved us." Jake smiled. "Nah, you saved me. Come with me, you said yes to." That's the real courage. The story of that Christmas night spread through the community, a testament to kindness in unexpected places. It reminds us that heroes aren't just in uniforms, they're the ones who show up when the world turns cold. In a world full of division, acts like Jake's bridge the gaps, healing hearts one knock at a time. And there you have it, folks. An emotional roller coaster that proves miracles happen when we open our doors and hearts. If this story touched you, hit that like button to spread the warmth, and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring tales that restore your faith in humanity. Who knows? Your next favorite story might be just one click away. Thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas to all.